Hi everyone, welcome to Wargaming Parrot. I'm David and today's video is on making birdie bread. We had some birdie bread left over we wanted to make, so I thought why not make it into a video. So I've got all my bits and pieces laid out here. We've got some vegetable oil, we've got some water, you need some eggs, got a baking tray, not a non-stick one, some cake cases, a bowl, my lovely big spoon, the mix itself, all sorts of bits and pieces, and I'm just going to talk you through how to make some birdie bread because it's well worth giving a try with your birdies because it's quite healthy. It gives them a bit of variety in their diet. It's full of protein and all sorts of lovely things. If your bird's a little bit fussy and doesn't want to try vegetables, you can also bake vegetables into the birdie bread as well, which could be another sort of way of introducing them to vegetables and all sorts of cool things like that. Something important I want to add, this should not be the main part of your bird's diet. You know what our feelings are on bird's diet. It should be mainly vegetables and all sorts of bits and pieces like that. I've got plenty of videos on those topics, so please feel free to look through our back catalogue. However, if you want to add a nice interesting supplement to your bird's diet, then I would highly consider adding birdie bread because it is interesting, it is fun, and it's also quite fun to make, which I'll hopefully prove today. I'm also going to add this birdie bread to my Amazon store. It's made by Harrison's, so if you want to check out my Amazon store and have a peek. I'm joined by my assistant Pickles and we're going to start making the actual bread. So the first thing I'm going to do is get our lovely big packet of it, and it can sit into our mixing bowl. There's quite a lot of it in here, just get it out of the way. Cool, I'm going to leave the instructions just so I can refer to them if I need to. I've pre-measured some vegetable oil. There's instructions on the packet for that. It's about 15 millilitres. And I'm just going to pour that in. I was looking to Sophie for direction there because I couldn't recall exactly how much it was. So get that in there. If you want to be using vegetable oil, you can use palm oil or coconut oil. Try and make it organic if you can, but you don't want to use anything like olive oil or anything like that, it's too fatty. So I've measured that in. You also want approximately 1 large cup or mug or 250 ml of water, clean water, and you add that in. I've got a nice measuring jug. So add that all in there, lovely. It's getting all mixed up there. And then you want 2 preferably free range eggs. You can guess from our opinions on birds, you want them to be free range. You can separate the yolk if you want it to be less fatty. I'm just going to crack these now. But we don't mind because it is a treat and we want the extra protein as everyone's molting. So I'm going to pop this on the floor. Just crack one more. Love this nice themed mug from, they used to be called Paws Claws, but now it's like Feathered Flock, but they're really cool either way.
Soaring Wings. Soaring Wings,
according to Sophie. I think I like both their names. I think they're both pretty cool. Can I have a tissue, please?
Can I stop it?
No, just carry on. Just give me a tissue, please, because it's as you imagine with cracking eggs, it's rather gooey. Well, let's make this as authentic as possible. You know, everyone else does. I'll pop my eggs out of the way and I'll leave this mug so you guys can admire it because we think it's really cool. So then, just mix it with a spoon. Give it a good mix. Almost consider like you're whisking it. Make sure all of the solids are nicely mixed in there because you don't want any clumps and you want it to be as consistent as possible. Hopefully you guys can see me stirring it. Pickles is like, I'm very scared of this. It's terrifying. You'll be enjoying it later though, won't you? It's a very tasty snack. So Sophie made this last time, which is why I'm making it this time. I'm trying to pull my weight a little bit. Boys are flying around everywhere. And you just want to keep on stirring it. It's just like as if you were making a normal cake or any sort of bread. You want the dough to be nice and consistent. This stuff will obviously be a bit lumpier because there's lots and lots of seeds in it. But you want to be doing this ideally, I don't know, for at least a couple of minutes. So I'm just going to keep on stirring it for a second. Okay, so we clip that bit because you have to stir it for a little while. It should have this lovely sort of smell to it. It's like a smell of fresh bread and oats almost. It's quite nice. I quite like it. So right, that's done. Sorry mug, I'm going to put you in there for a second. So we've lined it with foil and we're using cake cases. You could just put it onto the foil, however it's up to your personal preference. We like it in cake cases, it kind of portions it out and then you know what to do with it. I'll talk a little bit about how you can preserve it and how to serve it a little bit later once we've cooked it. So I'm just going to pop portions in each cake case. I thought this was one of Sophie's ideas, which is a very good one. Just popping them in the cake cases. Obviously you want to use it all up as well, so don't be afraid to get it all in there, so to speak. So just zoom through that again as well, because why do you want to be putting this in for ages? So there's a little bit left over, but I filled all the cake cases. You don't have to be too worried about being neat, because it doesn't matter. The birds will appreciate it anyway. When you're cooking it, it won't rise like normal bread. It may turn a bit golden brown, which would be quite nice. Also, if you put a little skewer in it, it should come out clean. That'll give you an indicator if it's cooked properly. So these instructions are on the packet, but I'll go through them quickly. Once you've got them prepared, goes into the oven at 180 Celsius or 350 Fahrenheit. You want to put it in for 25 to 35 minutes. We find when we're making it, it tends to take the longer end of the time scale. You can always check it at 25 and see how it's doing. Use the skewer test and then check it again at 35 and see if it's done. So we've got these ready. We're going to pop these in the oven and then I'll get them back out and show you what they look like. We've got the birdie bread out of the oven. It's nice and warm still, so I'm not going to give it to the birds to try it just yet, let it cool down. It's on a nice plate. As you can see, it's all very browned. We've tested it and it just looks very nice. It smells very nice as well. That's one of the great things about cooking any sort of bread is it smells nice. It makes the whole house smell nice. I'm just going to let this bread cool down and then I'm going to let the birds give it a try and see what they think of it. Here's what the bird bread looks up close, just so you can get a nice good look at it. I forgot to mention when I was filming the main segment about how you preserve it. It's good for a couple of days out of the fridge. You can leave it in the fridge to extend this. You can also freeze it as well, so if you freeze it, you can just put it in the freezer, take it out when you want to give it, let it thaw out and then provide it. This extends its shelf life and means that if you're cooking up a giant batch and you've only got 1 or 2 birds, it will last a lot longer. Right guys, thank you very much for watching. Hope you found this video interesting and useful, and maybe inspired you to try your own birdie bread and see what your birds think of it. But in the meantime, thanks very much for watching, take care and have a great day.